Neuralink is to me the Elon Musk's most fascinating venture yet, with the goal of developing technologies to unearth the mysteries of our most vital organ, which is the brain. We have invented the tiny devices that can be implanted into the body to correct our heartbeat. And also, we can take organs from donors and transfer them to those in need. But people just pay attention in the headlines of the mainstream science publications. And this technology will seems like it's just trying to create cyborg humans. But in reality, Neuralink is so much more than something meaningful. So the current technology on this side of things is highly invasive. We can take the Utah array as an example. This device consists of about 256 electrodes which can be both read and stimulate neural activity. So this is exactly the functions of Neuralink is working to improve on. The researchers took this a step further and began using the neural records to allow another woman to control the movement of a robotic arm. So this is the exact technology Neuralink is seeking to improve upon. The first issue with Utah Ray is the material properties of the electrodes. These electrodes are like stiff and sharp needles, which allows them to penetrate into the brain. And also, it can record the internal activity. But a part of this, it also can causes some problems. For example, it can harm the body's immune response. So this is the first part of Neuralink's plans to improve this technology by making these electrodes much smaller. The Utah arrays electrodes vary from about 0.03 millimeter at their tip and just to about zero point 0.1 at their base. However, the Neuralink threads are much smaller at just about 0.004 to 0.006 millimeter. And by making threads much thinner, it actually allows them to affect a smaller portion of the brain. And also, it makes them less likely to affect a nerve function. But perhaps it is more critically makes the threads more flexible. So Neuralink has moved away from these stiff silicon electrodes and it created a new gold electrodes which is much thinner and also it much flexible. However, electrodes like this comes with their own issues. Their small size and flexibility it makes them very difficult of a surgeon to insert. So Neuralink has developed a robotic electrodes inserter. The robot comes with the suite of camera and also the light modules to allow accurately insert the threads. And also, this robot on average could insert an electrode in just a little over a minute.
Now, let's look on how this technology can benefit to human civilization. Firstly, this technology will help experts to reveal the secrets of human brain. By gathering the data and the information of the brain response towards human body, it will help human to understand how the brain really works. This mystery has questioned experts for decades. Hopefully, it will answer the biggest question like how memory is stored and retrieved, how human emotion and psychology works. Once we know this answer, we can have a perfect understanding about human body. It will help to understand and find the cure to mental illness such as autism and anxiety. For now, this is incurable condition. Next, here comes the interesting part, the sci-fi like part. This technology is implant in brain, so it will be assistive technology for those who are unable to speak and hear to interact with other people since human is being controlled by the brain. This will make them feel like they are a normal person. For people who suffer from paralysis, serious injuries, and blindness, this brilliant technology will help them to regain back their ability to move, speak, hear, and see. For those who lost their limbs, This will be an exciting news for them. The brain-controlled robotic limbs can be a great replacement. The brain chip will send electric signal to the robotic limbs and will move however the user like. It can bring joy and happiness to their face because they are able to walk and hold something again. In this early stage, the target of this technology is to assist people with disabilities. Once the technology have achieved the objective, it can be further developed and potentially could be used for everyday life. For example, it will be a good use for those who love traveling. With this, you can speak with other people around the world without really knowing their language, since it could be a tool that can be used as some sort of translator to understand other language. Other than that, using it as telepresence would be a great idea. The idea is to using virtual reality technology to operate machinery by remote control. It will also help to store memory as backup and retrieve it if a person happens to experience memory loss. The technology also can be benefit for crime investigation. Often the investigator having a hard time to catch the real criminal. With the developed version of this technology, it can really be a good help for them to find the guilty person. Therefore, this technology can hugely improve our quality of life.
Now we're moving on to the downside of Neuralink's brain chip. The Neuralink chips will work on increasing and upgrading the capacity of human brain to have a wonderful skill in memorizing, even to installing, downloading, as well as accessing a certain software. Consequently, it will also change the way people learn. Throughout school, the teacher will be facing some trouble giving closed book examination as the students will be able to cheat during the test. Since the student can easily take a look to the book which has been installed in their brain, and they can open it during closed book examination without being caught by the teacher. An effect from that, teachers will not be able to measure the capability of students in memorizing. Secondly, the chip has the potential to decrease the work of the biological version of brain. Human will get lazy to learn and memorizing. Human just live depending on the implanted chip, forget and even stop using their biological brain, which it will lead to decrease of human brain system. Next is that the human will develop a negative characteristic such as individualistic. The real world will become more forgotten by the people as they keep focusing and spending time with every installation they have in their brain. People will become so busy with their world in their brain and living the real form of world. It will lead to people have no social life anymore. Next is the world of law will be chaos. People are growing smarter and being more active in giving their opinion and does not want to be just obeying the law without firstly analyze the law. People who criticize the law is the result of the people in the world who are growing smarter. There will be so much of critics and it might even lead to the world to change their system of government. Other than that, putting so much information and reliance on a single chip makes it a prime target for hackers. If information is writable, there is also potential for impersonation or data corruption.